Next item we have is consider GDOT project framework agreements for various projects within the county. That is the Jimmy Daniell Road Extension Project, Daniels Bridge Road, as well as the Daniels Bridge Road Extension Project. For information to BOC members, I had some conversation yesterday and today with GDOT officials, and as y'all know, we did receive a request from GDOT for us to act on at least one of those projects, which is the Jimmy Daniell Road project for action by the board, and I think the deadline they gave us was December 1 for that for us to act on that by December 1, 2014. And then asking that at this time I would suggest that we ask Mr. Beshara if he will share any details relating to the Jimmy Daniels Road project, any information on that project, and take action on this particular item and hold the other projects for discussion at a later date.
Good evening, board members. Before you tonight is a project framework agreement submitted to us by DOT for the Jimmy Daniell Road Widening project. This project has no defined scope. It can be whatever this board wants it to be. Anything from a nodal improvement, which is what we had proposed and was passed by the DOC, to be included on the T-Splosh list of projects, which would add center left turn lanes where needed, add decel lanes where needed, and also possibly widening both lanes to 12 feet for safety purposes. It could also be up to and maybe beyond matching what Clark County has done with their stretch of Jimmy Daniell Road, which is 4 lanes, and up until I think a month or so ago, a center left turn lane. I think they eliminated that when they resurfaced and striped. But that would definitely involve replacing the bridge at the county line over the creek. We probably want to realign that to some extent so you don't have to make such a sharp turn in Clark County. This project is a sister project of one which will occur in Clark County. There'll be one in the same, I would assume, where probably there's some type of intergovernmental agreement with Clark County on the design contract, because you need to marry both halves anyway. Their stretch is relatively short compared to the portion in Oconee County. And so I would expect it would be typical for the two governments to enter into an intergovernmental agreement for the design services portion at a minimum. If you do the 4-lane widening, again, matching what Clark County has, you're going to need additional right-of-way. So the project, the scope is not defined. It could be as large and complex or as streamlined and straightforward as you desire. Should you choose to go the nodal improvement route, there's a possibility that involving DOT might even complicate the project and make it more expensive. What you have tonight is the framework for an agreement for a project. It doesn't commit this board to spending 1 penny for design, for construction, for right-of-way, but it does pledge that the county is willing to work with DOT to further this project in accordance with the allocations of responsibilities set forth, wherein Oconee County would pay for 100% of the design. And I believe right-of-way acquisition and right-of-way land value, and DOT would pick up, is it 100% of construction cost?
Well, we know that we have different contracts that come back. For example, with GDOT, as you've indicated, that right-of-way acquisition may be reimbursed the county as we have done in the past. So all of this is still in the framework, and as you've indicated, I guess the negotiation process.
Right. Yeah, there's if you look at the framework agreement, the spreadsheet that's really hard to read, that's included in your packet, if you look at acquisition funding for right-of-way, it says local government. Construction letting would be by GDOT. And there would be, the PD activity sponsor would be the local government. So it's very similar to the other DOT projects where we partnered with DOT to complete, like the Marshall project, like the Marshall Butler's Crossing sidewalks, and like the Oconee Connector extension. It was my understanding, my recollection that this project was originally on the DOT scheduling for their FY13. So we are a bit behind in entering into a PFA. And again, it doesn't commit you to spending one penny on the project. It's only at the point in time this board directs a solicitation of design services and vote to approve the contract and expend money. And again, you control the schedule within reasonable limits.
Questions that the board may have?
You recall what the T-Sloss amount was that you had for just a no length?
I want to say it was 1.1 million, but I recollect that the Daniels Bridge Road widening was around $800,000. I believe that the Jimmy Daniel project was a little bit more expensive.
What was it, 3 years ago? Is that when that was voted on?
It was on 9.
3 years ago?
Was it 09?
I can't remember. 3 or 4 years ago when it was voted on.
4 years, 2 times.
I had to be an election year.
So the other question?
4 years.
Any public comments regarding the moving forward with the project framework agreement on Jimmy Daniel Road, project number 0007939?
Based on this worksheet and the local is, all this is just tentative at 2.8.
John, yes, as from my understanding, that is correct, because the project framework agreement is a placeholder for various and sundry funds on the district level, District 10, 10th Congressional District, and those funds may be allocated, reallocated based on the number of projects in the course of from the district, is my understanding. So is there any other questions? Then I'll ask, is there a motion to move forward with the authorizing chair to sign the PFA number 0007939, which is the Jimmy Daniel project framework agreement.
I'll make a motion to allow the chairman to sign the GDOT project framework agreements for Jimmy Daniel Road Extension, project number 0007939.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Saxon, seconded by Commissioner Luke. We will move forward with signing the project framework agreement for Jimmy Daniel Road Extension project number 7939. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.